Hello there, welcome back again to another session of an amazing interview with a young gentleman who has quite a story. His is truly a story of nothing but sheer determination. Somebody who grew up in a children's home and now he is an author in Kenya. I am delighted to be hosting a guest by the name Martin Kibe, but I will allow him the honor to do further introduction of himself. Kindly look at that camera and tell us more about yourself.
Thank you very much, Eunice. It's a great honor to have your session here. Yeah, my name is Martin Kibe. I'm born again Christian. I'm an author of several books, over 7 books so far. And also a motivational speaker and also an active person in the community wanting to take up any matter that I feel I have the capacity to participate in providing a solution. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Martin, you have quite a story. I know you just a tiny little bit, but could you kindly let our viewers know how you grew up and the whole genesis of who you are today?
Yeah, I don't want to look very unique, very different, born unnatural, but for the benefit of our viewers, yeah, I grew in a children's home from class 6 up to Form 4, and I thank God for that kind of an opportunity. These are some of the things we don't choose in life. We find ourselves and we have to manage. And at this juncture, I want to appreciate for that kind of an opportunity. I think anything good in my life, I can always trace it back in the children's home. Yeah, the kind of environment I got, the exposure, the aggressiveness. And therefore, as much as it may not be affiliated to be a good place for me, I think I enjoyed my life because, in fact, that was the only home. And therefore, I have no other comparison of a better home. Yeah, and therefore, I thank God for that opportunity. That's what has made me to become who I am. And that is part of my background. And it will always remain in my documentation.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you said you got into a children's home from grade 6. What happened before you got into a children's home, or where are your parents?
Yeah, I grew up in a children's home because I lost my mother when I was 9 years. And my father has not been in the picture. Then I had to live with my grandparents who had 10 children. So 10 children plus 3, that means for you to get an opportunity, even for the basic needs, it was more of a competition, or rather it was not manageable. And therefore the best was to offload some of the burden to the children's home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So sorry to hear about that. But again, like you said, you have some positive things that came out of that, and you now finding yourself in a children's home, which is what you really consider home. So now let's delve now into our interview, which our topic today is being an author in Kenya. We want to understand, does it really pay? What are the challenges that authors go through, and what inspires some of them to even be able to write the books that they write? So you also have a charitable, before we actually get into that, you have a charity organization, or you participate in activities where I see you fundraising for various children's homes. Kindly touch on that before we get into authoring books.
Yeah, I think from where I grew up, I think one of the things that I was imparted in my life is compassion. And therefore that's why I'm saying there is no sympathy where I'm coming from. We can learn from anything. We can be imparted from many circumstances in our life, and that's how our purposes grow in life. And therefore, I thought now to have grown up through the children's home, I needed to speak about where I'm coming from. I am the one who knows where the shoe is itching for my fellow the children in the children's home. And therefore, I reach out to the community speaking about the children's home, the simple basic things. But I think the biggest need for the children's home is love, and therefore that's what I work for. As much as I may do fundraising, I may do those resource mobilization, even if it's a single suite that I deliver to the children's home, it should be able to be delivered as a package of love, because that's one of the biggest need in the children's home. But of course, the other home for the disabled, that's also one of the major programs I have. And the other part of the vulnerable community, section of our communities, the aged in the community. Therefore, I have those 3 programs per year. Pure Children's Home, in April, we have a home for the disabled in August. Then in December, we are able to facilitate the grandmothers. To be specific, those are the ones who are majorly available, but you may find 1 or 2. So not in a home for the disabled, but at their homes. Most of our culture, we have not allowed the aged, or rather they are not comfortable to live in a home.
For the elderly, yes.
Yeah, but they like to be at their own homes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's part of the 3 programs in a year
That you run,
that I'm able to run in the community.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So now let us go now into writing books. What inspired you to start authoring books in Kenya?
Writing, I think, to be specific, the first book, which is The Positive Side of Suffering, I started writing when I was in Form 3. There were 3 purposes of a third book, so I never sat down to plan or to be inspired to write. I just wanted a means, because now when I was leaving the children's home, I knew that the children's home will not educate me in college or in the university. I knew my grandfather would not continue educating my life, or rather the problems I knew would have persisted. And therefore, for me, the motivation for writing the first book was a mean, which was I wanted a sure way of educating myself in the university, at least to be able to show the community that indeed I had something to share as a motivational speaker.
Okay.
And of course, a book was a way of earning my life. So those are the 3 main purposes of the first book, The Positive Side of Suffering. Therefore, the book has its own motivation. Yeah, that's how I started writing, and the good thing is not debatable. Those 3 purposes I've been able to accomplish. I've been able to educate myself in college, in the university.
Using that book.
Using that book, The Positive Side of Suffering. Yeah, I'm able to earn my daily living. And at least now that was able to approve me to the community as a motivational speaker.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're saying you went through campus by yourself because of what you had actually put in pen and in writing, and that is basically authoring a book, right? So you can say this is something that somebody can be able to earn money from and be able to better their life. Books? Yeah,
it is. The book paid at least 30% of my school fees out of 72,300 per semester, and I had 3 semesters per year. Therefore, it is possible to transform writing into work. It is possible to get a value, because by the time you publish that book, every person call you a motivational speaker. And therefore, the other thing, publishing that book, I now am invited in different forums, in schools, in churches, in institutions, to go and speak to people, and therefore people pay for that value. But if I had not written that book, possibly I could, the community would not find a ground to be able to approve my value. Yeah, therefore, writing is work. Writing is also a ministry. If anyone will choose to package it better for the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that is quite an amazing story. So what is the most challenging part of writing books?
Yeah, this is one of the most feared area. Some people fear maybe the grammar. The people ask me, where do you get all these materials? Do they come out of your small head? And therefore, even the whole process of writing is not easy. But I think a purpose makes people to, I mean, if the purpose is clear, like now the first book, the purpose was clear, I didn't have an option, therefore, if there is no way, I had to clear the bush. Yeah, of course, it's challenging for the beginners. It is not easy to collect all these materials. Some people don't even have a story. They just want to write a book, and you know, writing, you need a story.
You need something
It is a story we are telling people. Writing, you also need to have lessons you have learned in life. Because people relate to, again, with those lessons. Some people are not able to package life in form of lessons, and of course the cost that comes with the publishing. But I think all those challenges put together, I think the biggest thing is that purpose. That when I publish this book, I become a motivational speaker. When I publish this book, is work. And of course, the biggest of all, Martin Luther says that if you, excuse me, if you want to change the world, take a pen and write down. If I imagine how many people I'm able to inspire every day, people we may never meet, but I receive the feedback. Martin, I wrote a book called The Power of Determination. I read the book called The Positive Side of Suffering, and you know, they are transformed. So you can imagine, even when I'm asleep, people are being transformed. And therefore, I think that is the biggest thing, because books are continuity of our life. I'm assured that even after I am no more in the world, you cannot kill me, not even being remembered. I will continue serving with them, those that are alive. Yeah, so I'm simply saying it would be very hard to kill me even after I'm no longer existing in the world. And I think that is the biggest, purpose of writing, that you can be in the grave, yet you're influencing those who are living.
Actually, that's very true, because we read amazing books of people who we do not even know, people who have been long dead. So let me ask about a certain book that you have here, because this is a business show. You've written or authored a book called Converting Your Problems into Money. I don't know what inspired this, but I would want to be able to understand what inspired this, and why did you come up with a cover page that has all this manner of looks like garbage or something, but I can see there are US dollars here. So tell us about this book, and specifically the cover of this book here, because it's very catchy. Somebody would want, oh, I have problems, how do I convert them into money? Yes.
Yeah, these are continuity. These are the sixth book among 7 books I've published so far. The first book was The Positive Side of Suffering. And therefore I was calling people to identify something positive in their problems. And now after identifying those are positive things, that is not the optimal value. But of course it was not easy even to sell that book. Some people, people don't want to be reminded about their problems. In fact, I could wave the book at people like this, and the positive side of suffering, and they would say no. We don't want anyone reminding us about our problems. But for me, when they said that, I saw a great opportunity. And therefore, the only thing I needed now to change in this book is making sure that there is problems and money in a single sentence. One of the challenges at the beginning was the positive side of suffering. So I had to also come up with a title that people will be able to relate, so they are able to see money and problems in a single sentence. And therefore, as they want money, I still have to remind them about their problems. And therefore, these are hybrid of the positive side of suffering. But to be very specific, and now getting into the book, problems are the greatest source of employment in the world.
It is true. If you can solve a problem for somebody, then you'll be earning money from that.
Yeah, in fact, if problems stop existing in the world, we'll have nothing to do. I mean, we are sponsored to have work by problems. And therefore, we should be able to credit the problems we have in life. But of course, before coming into that is a process. By the time someone is coming to get money from the problems, you know, human beings are naturally negative and disobedient and destructive. So we have to spend 65% of this book taking people from negative world. Because if you cannot be able to if you cannot be able to transform your problems into money, you'll never even be able to see problems. I mean, you'll never be able to see money in the problems for other people.
Okay.
Therefore, this book has to squarely deal with you. Why do we have garbage and we also have dollars? That's how we treat our problems. We treat them as garbages, they are useless. But in those problems, you can see this hand that is coming to lift the wallet, which is having dollars. And I'm so intentional it is dollar, because that's at least one of the stable currencies in the world, I mean, of trade. So imagine in your problems, someone comes and sees money that if we can maybe if they are able to solve that problem, in fact, every person who comes in your life and solve problems, they're entitled that you are going to pay them. So that's how the problems become. In fact, we need problems. If you are going to live a meaningful life, you need problems to exist. If you need big money, you need big problem. So, but do people turn to where problems are? I mean, even in the worst case in life, there are problems. In the case of death, someone dies, someone is sending a coffin, someone, I mean, how much should I say? In fact, the death of one person, and God forbid, there are multiple opportunities. I really don't want to irritate people.
Let's talk about death. You know what actually is coming into mind, converting our problems into money. We have had a menace in Nairobi. We have had the Dandora dump site, and I think there's an Indian company or something. There was a pack that was actually made. So you can imagine that has been a pain for people. You know, the garbage site, the dump site looking all so bad. Yet somebody goes there and they say, I can convert this and create a pack out of that. And from that pack, they're actually able to make money. So you have mentioned something that you also do, motivational speaking. So do you look for these opportunities? Are you invited, and where are you invited? What impact have you seen, particularly with the youth?
Yeah, of course, for a long time I have been known for talking about problems. That's what people call me for, to talk about problems. But of course, now with this book, now my title have changed. I'm now known for selling problems. So motivational speaking is a good area. People need motivation every day. And once again, remember, I'm sponsored by the problems of people to do motivational speaking. The same people calls me because there are problems in their life. I don't know if you are seeing that kind of a connection. So that so long as problems will continue existing in the world, I have a permanent employment. I have a permanent employment, and I'm not praying that the problems for people should cease. But I don't think problems are ending tomorrow. In fact, I should prophesy great opportunities, great work, because one thing that is sure is that problems will continue existing. And therefore, my work is helping people to come out of their problems. If you show me your problems, I'll show you money in those problems. And therefore, that's one of the biggest area within the community. As a professional counselor, once again, because it's not just solving the issues of people, it is solving the issues of, or rather the problems of people professionally.
Actually, you've mentioned here that you're a professional counselor.
Yeah, so that's one, as much as I would want to solve the problems of people, it's good again to be very professional. It's good to have the skills, it's good to have the knowledge, because one of the, I don't know if it would be coming as one of the question on how do you convert problems into money. Of course, one of it is mastering of your problems. And therefore, if I'm interested in solving the problems of people, I have to master what are the issues, which problems do people have. But even before that, because we are talking about your problems, I should be able to help my clients to master their problems. Because if people can be able to master their problems, they can be able to even, they solve first their problems, and from there their eyes will be open to be able to see the problems of other people.
And I think this is where we are seeing life coaches mushrooming everywhere. You know, you turn left, there's a coach for this. You turn right, there's also a coach for this. I see here you're so you're talking about also being a life coach. How is coaching different from motivational speaking?
Yeah, motivational, anyone can do motivational speaking, because motivation is just picking people from a certain level. It may be emotional, but motivation is pushing people to action. But remember, as a motivational speaker, you can speak and motivate people, but is it everyone who is taking an action?
No.
Is it everyone who will be inspired? And so that's where now the difference comes in. Motivational speaker, yes, you can inspire people. Like now I'm here. There are people that I'm going to inspire. There are people who will be fired up by feeling maybe insufficient. They will see the opportunities. But a life coach is different. That you come into Martin's life, you come and show me your vision. I'm supposed to facilitate, you show me your vision, you show me your ideas, show me your imagination. I'm supposed to facilitate it into good services and solutions. So that's where the life coaching comes in. People come with the different shortcomings, but you come and you work with me for 2 months. Am I able to help you to, to connect? You have come with a need. You have come, I remember one of our young persons who came into my life. He has come, he has very good vision, he has very good ideas, but his energy is all scattered. He worked with me for the first 2 months, and he was able to start getting the results, because one of the needs I saw in his life is to channel his energy to the results. So I connect your energy to results, but it is not a one-day work. And after 2 years, I was able to terminate him, because now he's able to stand alone. He has the means, he has the process, and he has even the know-how on how to connect all the energy he has to his purpose. So people can come in your life and they are saying, Martin, I don't know my purpose. So life coaching is should now help a person to discover their purpose. You come, you tell me, Martin, I want to start a business. I should be able to help you until you start that business. So that's what I differentiate between the motivational speaking and life coaching. You are dealing with the lives of people, moving them from point A to point B practically, with the practical, with the empirical ways of achieving their goals.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I had a conversation once, or I made an inquiry, and I was told to, okay, there are posts that we see on Facebook, and I'll not even mention names, and you'll hear somebody come and pick my brain. And I have an issue with that, or maybe it's because I believe I am a little bit more self-aware, because if I come and pick your brain and I need to get started, so what happens is that I'll come back, pick your brain mid-process. So how would you be able, how is a life coach able to like help the whatever person they're actually with, be able to get started, get midway, and actually give them a very clear picture without necessarily then them coming back to for coaching sessions, because there are so many, they are all over, and I think people at some point are actually being taken advantage of. I saw somebody saying, and they're actually making fun. They said, please don't go picking people's brains, because what is the role of like, you know, like prayer? Like you can give me a fishing line, but I cannot come to you every other time I have a problem. How would you be able to help somebody be able to stand on their own after it is very clear that this is what I'm supposed to do with my life?
Yeah, I thank God to have one big benefit to be not only a motivational speaker, not only a life coach, but also a professional counselor. Because helping starts with the concern. But concern, the primary before the concern, there is listening. You have come to me. Are people patient in listening the problems of people?
out to you.
Sometimes you come, you listen to me, and I think I know it all, and I quick fix your problem.
No,
I
that's
fix
where-
you to where I think you can very fast get out of your problems. Yeah, so it calls number one for listening. And number two is having then after you have listened. Number two, have you been able to pick the vision of that person?
Because there's no way I'll come. Okay, and my thinking was from that post I saw. There's no way I'll come to you, and maybe you listen to me, and then you tell me, pick my brain. What is this that is? Okay, let me not even get into that, because really I found a problem with that. And when I saw somebody make fun of somebody say, don't go picking people's brains, there's something that is so beautiful when you're able to put what is in you, you know,
being original.
Being original and authentic. And I think that's where people are able to thrive, when you do something that you're really passionate about, and this comes from you, other than if I want to become a doctor and I go pick somebody's brain and I'm not even talented, or it's not even in me, then I think...
Yeah, I'm trying to understand you and pick your concern. So we have said one is listening, listening enough, get the background, get the history of this person, pick very important things like personalities, be able to pick the weaknesses of this person.
You will be charged a certain figure, which is very high for 1 hour or for 2 hours. So how do you tell Eunice 3-5 years ago was thinking about a certain thing if it's not a journey you're walking with?
And that's why we are saying life coaching is not a motivation, is not motivating a person. No, but in fact, life coaching is very realistic. Is connected to realistic. So you have come, I have listened to you. That is maybe the first day. Exactly. And from there, we are able to come up with a work plan. Exactly. It's a work plan, it's a journey, it is work, it's everyday work. And from there, developing a work plan, we start from the list, what is doable today. And remember, that is not changing who you are. It's helping you to optimize your originality, optimize. In fact, you know, you come to a life coach because you have a certain weakness. So, and you know, even a change of behavior is not a one-day thing. Maybe, for example, I come and identify your problem is procrastination. Procrastination, you don't change every day. We have to change your behavior. How do you manage your time? Do you have a diary? Maybe one of the assignment will be go and get a diary. Then from there we start monitoring how are you able to deliver, how are you able to deliver your results every day. And therefore, that's why I've given an example of a young man. He came to me. He was referred by a person that Martin can help you to publish a book. That is the need. But this person comes in your life, you realize the problems is not even publishing the book. What has held him from publishing a book? He has a lot of energy. He's very ambitious, but he's not connected to the reality. He has no work plan that he is doing every day. For example, like now for me, when I was publishing The Power of Determination, it is 3 sentences every day. So we have to come up, I was able to help him to come up with a work plan. And therefore, even as we talk today, he's still in the process, but one of the things is that it is as we are changing sometimes the behavior, sometimes we are changing it is how you think, sometimes it's about, the beliefs. And therefore, life coaching is a process. At least I worked with him for 2 years. I can speak about him, and I've spent a lot of time listening to him. I gave him opportunities when I'm going to do motivational speaking. Sometimes I give him 20 minutes, so I get to listen about him. So when, after writing, I tell him, please bring me your work. I read through, I'm able to understand his worldview. And therefore, that's what differentiates motivational speaking with the life coaching. I coach you until you deliver results with your originality, without changing you.
Actually, we're winding up, Martin. I have a book in my mind that I have wanted to write for, I don't know, the last 10, 15 years. What would you tell me in 1 minute as we wind up?
Now you are putting me into test.
Exactly.
So ideas are never safe in the mind. So the most basic thing is one of the instruction I'll give to you is first get everything that is out of your mind. Even if it is in raw bones, get it out of your mind.
And put it in writing.
Put it in writing. That's
Let me ask you, assuming I don't have the time to do that or the grace to write, if I share my story, would you be able to put that in writing for me?
I'm able to write, but I think the best story it is you who is able to write it in originality. In fact, now we go the other way around. I will provide you with the skills in writing. We sit down, have a walk, get to start now the journey of writing, of downloading everything that is in the mind. So it is a journey, it is possible. I'm standing here not as an amateur. I've done 7 books. Then one thing you can be sure, I have the process from A to Z. Yeah, that's the other thing. He's a life coach, but you have the process. You're able to see Martin has been able to write a book from the scratch. And now I am a publisher. Apart from now writing the book, I have also been able to publish my own books. And therefore you can be sure this is a process which will be able to help you to succeed.
So wind up and look at that camera and talk to an orphan today or somebody in a place you are in and encourage them and talk to somebody who desires to write a book and how you can help them. In 1 minute, you can also share your number on where they can get you and where they can get your books from. Yes.
Yeah, for the sake of the theme of today, converting your problems into money, I would want to confine myself to that, that problems are the greatest cause of employment in the world. So, and so long as problems are existing in the world, I want to promise you a lot of opportunities, a lot of employment. So one of my biggest challenge into your life is to, when people are running away from problems, please go into that problem because that's where opportunities are. And another thing, even as you go through problems, I'm only going to give you, because I know problems are real, I know the kind of season we are in right now. I just want to give you just one way out of getting your problems just for today. Live a day at a time. Live a day at a time. So you have your diary, you have all the programs that you have planned today. If you can be able to achieve all that you have planned today, that is enough. But if you bring 10 years problems, the 10 years problems, from behind and 10 years problems, anxiety into today, you're not going to enjoy your life today. So my parting shot, live a day at a time. Today's problems will have hardly kill you. Yeah, my problems are, my books are available in a Ereto bookshop. You can also get my contact. And from there, we'll be able to do the arrangement and deliver. My contact is 0707 451 651. 0707 451 651. All social medias, you can find me as Martin Kibe. Thank you very much. I am grateful for this opportunity.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
We hope that we have been able to learn something, converting problems, and maybe this could be converting somebody else's problem into an opportunity, and you're able to make that money. So they do not have to be your problems. They can be you solving another problem for somebody. And this is how many of us have been able to make money, by solving somebody else's problem. So that is it. We were discussing authoring a book in Kenya. Does it pay? We have found out that Martin Kibe was able to at least cover 30% of his campus fees or college fees by the kind of work that he put into writing, and that is by him selling his books. So this is quite a story that one can emulate. If you're passionate about something, if there's a story that you would want to put in a book, that book can be able to pay you something that will help you meet at least one of your needs today. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Eunice Jerry. This is Hustles Day. To please let your light shine in the marketplace. Bye bye.